Okay, ready.
Okay, so we're ready in the back. Ready in the front? Okay, good morning. Today is Wednesday, May 17th, 2023, and we'd like to welcome everyone to the board meeting. We'll call this meeting to order at 9 a.m. You can join today's board meeting via phone. Dial 971-254-3149. Conference ID 736-023-979#. Audio capabilities are listen only and are offered on the best effort for the public. Our meeting is also live streamed, and you can join us by going online to tctvonline.com and click on live broadcasts. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute their phone. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute your phone when your agenda item is ready to be discussed. For those joining via computer, please unmute your microphone and turn on your camera when your agenda item is called. All others must remain muted with their cameras turned off. Thank you. Public comment. Those intending to provide public comment to the board may attend in person or email submissions to publiccomments@co.tillamook.or.us. Public comments received by 12 p.m. on Tuesday will be distributed to the board, posted online before the meeting, and become part of the public record. You may also provide public comment virtually by registering ahead of time. To register, please email publiccomments@co.tillamook.or.us by 12 p.m. on the Tuesday prior to the board meeting. Public comments can also be mailed to the Board of Commissioners Office, 201 Laurel Avenue, Tillamook, Oregon, 97141. For more information on public comment options, please visit the Board of Commissioners webpage. Okay, do we have anyone in the room, or has anyone registered online for public comment?
No.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, we have called the meeting to order, so we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Bob, would you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and has everyone has probably noticed that Commissioner Yamamoto is not with us today. He is attending the Western Regional Conference of NACO to continue his work on the BIOP and national support for the challenges we face and getting as many counties across the nation involved and aware as possible. Okay, so we will, we have no public comment. I will note that agenda item number 5 has been postponed. So we will not take that up today. And we will move right into agenda item number 6. Discussion and consideration of a resolution in the matter of proclaiming May as Older Americans Month in Tillamook County, Oregon. And we have Monica Moore with us today from Northwest Senior and Disability Services. Good morning, Monica. You are muted, so we can see you.
There we go.
There we go.
It's actually Monica Adams. My
Oh.
email is my maiden name. But
Okay, sorry about that. Well, Monica Adams, welcome.
Hi, nice to meet everybody and be here today. So I am an advocate on the Disability and Senior Advisory Council for Northwest Senior Disability Services. We are an intergovernmental organization, and we serve 5 counties. So I am actually the representative from Clatsop County. I am up in Astoria, I live really outside it. But we also serve Tillamook County, Polk, Marion, and Yamhill. And we kind of as an organization are a little unusual compared to some senior and disability organizations in that our focus here in Oregon is really on independence and just kind of active quality of life and choice for people who are seniors. This is an increasing population, very much so, especially here in our coastal counties, including Tillamook County. There's a lot of older adults, and we've found that enhancing and strengthening them, it helps the community grow. So we feel they're adults as members of our community, they're members of the workforce, they have a lot of wisdom, they're a big volunteer base. So it's really important to support them and help them be independent, give them opportunities to be involved in working, volunteering, leading, and promoting their dignity, independence, and health. So for all of that, in part of our mission, we've kind of had this program of declaring May to be Older Americans Month. So that's where we kind of have extra focus on the importance of keeping older adults engaged and independent and included in our communities. And we've brought this to the council here today with you guys to talk through kind of having that in place for Tillamook County.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Any questions on that?
Yes, perfect. Well, I'll make a few comments and then I'll turn it over to my fellow commissioners. So one of the roles that I have as a county commissioner is sitting on the board for Northwest Senior and Disability Services. So I have the opportunity each month to learn more about their services and to just stay really engaged with the work they do across the 5 counties. And it is really amazing work. Everything from the Senior Meals Program, which is huge and has grown so much during COVID in all the counties, but Tillamook County in particular has really seen a lot of growth in the number of seniors taking advantage both of meals delivered to their homes and meals in our meal sites, which allows for a lot of social engagement, and they love it. Coming back to the meal sites has been really well, I guess, happened really well in Tillamook County over some other counties. They also are the area the AAA, which isn't the area aging. There's another word in there.
Area agencies on aging.
There it is. Thank you. I couldn't think of the agency. So this is a really vital service in our counties, because if you are a senior and you're wondering what supports there are to help you stay in your home, or if you are a family member or a friend of a senior that is needing some supports to stay in their home, you can call Northwest Senior and Disability Services and talk with someone just about the situation and find out what is available, because there are services such as someone who can come in and help with a little cleaning, help with a little bit of shopping. There are volunteers that will come in and help with finances if someone reaches a point in their life where they're struggling with their bills. There are a lot of services available that, as Monica said, are designed to help our seniors maintain their independence, maintain their ability to live in their home and stay engaged in their community. They also do have services related to senior care facilities and helping people become placed in those if that's the right thing to happen. So there's just a really big range of services through Northwest Senior and Disabilities that I don't know that our community always realizes are available. So I think it's a great organization, and I appreciate this spotlight on Older Americans Month. As Monica said, the growth of seniors in our community it's the fastest growing population that we have in Tillamook County. We have a lot of retirees who come here because it's beautiful and wonderful, and as they do that, they bring a wealth of knowledge and experience and skills and just become a very rich part of our community. And Northwest Senior and Disability Services is here to help make sure that their time here, they can stay in their home and stay independent. So just, again, great program. I have lots, obviously, more to say than I thought I did, because I said I'd be brief, which didn't happen. So the last thing I will say before I turn it over is there are 2 advisory councils for the agency. One of them is the Senior Advisory Council, and the other is the Disability Advisory Council, because the agency also serves adults with disabilities. So we in Tillamook County currently do not have anyone sitting on either of these advisory councils. And I have reached out in a variety of ways to the community and continue to do so, and would love to have members of Tillamook County sitting on these advisory councils so that we can be sure that the services being provided are exactly what's needed in Tillamook County, and that feedback from our local community can be received by this agency. So if you are sitting and thinking, well, I might be interested in that, please reach out to the Board of Commissioners office and I'd be happy to talk with you about it. I'm sure that we could connect you with Monica if she wanted to talk specifically about her experience as an advocate on one of those boards. But it really is a missing for our community right now that the only voice at the table for Tillamook is mine. I would love to have more voices. So, sorry,
Yeah,
Commissioner.
and I can't understand.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't underscore that enough. Like I said, I'm one of the representatives from Clatsop County, and because we have no representatives on the council from Tillamook, me and the other Clatsop County reps get a lot of questions, and we've tried to explain that Tillamook and Clatsop are next to each other, but not identical.
Right.
More voices is just desperately needed, for sure.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, welcome this morning, Monica. Glad to have you here. I first learned about Northwest Senior and Disability Services when I moved to Tillamook County, and I became friends with an older gentleman who was in his 90s, and he needed a little help in his house. And he was delightful. He was healthy and active, and I met him in a cafe, and he was just friendly and nice, and a wonderful character. And at one point, he asked me to take him home, and he invited me in, and I realized that his house was a terrific hoarder sort of situation. And it made me worried about him. So I asked him, would you want some help with this? And he said, well, yeah, but he didn't know where to start. So we started at Northwest Senior and Disability Services, and it turned out that he was able to get some help with house cleaning and some help with cooking, and it enabled him to stay in his home for a number of years, and that's where he wanted to be. And I realized that there are a lot of people who want to be in community living, and it really, feeds their soul and helps them socially, and they love it. And there are other people who want to stay in their own homes. And so I love it that there's the opportunity for people to get all kinds of support to do whatever works best for them. And I'm delighted about the services that Northwest Senior and Disability Services provides to help people stay in the community, stay in their own homes, be happy and healthy and supported, just to provide the supports. And also, I think it's great to be talking about Older Americans Month. I don't remember if we made this proclamation last year. I've forgotten it.
I don't think we did.
I don't
think
remember.
This is our first year in my time.
So I think it's really nice. And as Commissioner Scar said, a high percentage of Tillamook County citizens are older Americans. People come here to retire for obvious reasons. And also, there's just more and more boomers. It's a big group of people, and I am personally blessed to be in a number of community groups with older citizens who are so vital to our community that I'm really grateful for their role modeling.
Agreed, thank you. And we will all be, we hope, older Americans. We're
Yes.
all working toward that as a goal, right?
Yeah.
And so building communities for those who are here and for those who will come after them that really provide supportive services is important.
Absolutely.
So would you like to read it into the record as a motion?
Yes, I would.
Thank you.
In the matter of proclaiming May as Older Americans Month in Tillamook County, Oregon, Resolution R-23-001, this matter came before the Tillamook County Board of Commissioners on May 17, 2023 at the request of Northwest Senior and Disability Services. The board, being fully apprised of the representations of the above-named entity, find as follows. 1. Northwest Senior and Disability Services is a local intergovernmental agency serving seniors and other adults with disabilities in 5 counties: Clatsop, Marion, Polk, Tillamook, and Yamhill. 2. Tillamook County citizenry includes an increasing population of older adults who enhance and strengthen our community. Older adults are members of our workforce, our service clubs, our volunteer base, and simply put, our community. 3. Involving older adults in community events and providing opportunities to work, volunteer, learn, and engage promotes dignity, independence, and health. 4. The community benefits when older adults remain engaged, independent, and included. We should strive to value their wisdom, celebrate their contributions, and champion their well-being. 5. Tillamook County can work to build a better community for older adults by promoting home and community-based services that support independent living and aging in place. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Tillamook County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims May as Older Americans Month in Tillamook County, Oregon. That's a motion.
Okay, I will second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? My further discussion would be to thank Monica for representing Tillamook County in the absence of having Tillamook County representation, and to once again invite those in the community to reach out to the Board of Commissioners office and ask for me if you are interested in providing that Tillamook voice. So with that further comment, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much, Monica. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you for your work.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Moving on to item number 7. Discussion and consideration of an encroachment license on Beach Crest Drive at Township 5 South, Range 11 West, Section 25AB, tax lot number 1800 in Nescoin, Oregon, for the repair, replacement, and maintenance of a road approach boardwalk parking structure and associated access stairs. We have Jasper Lind, our engineering technician from Public Works, with us this morning. Good morning, Jasper.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to present this road encroachment license and petitioning as well as our staff report too. This is a bit of a unique structure. Normally when we have an encroachment license being proposed, it's a new construction, oftentimes some sort of retaining wall, but it tends to be the same as this, that it's a parking structure, that it's some means of accessing a property that's downhill of an existing right-of-way that needs some sort of physical structure to provide that access. In this particular case, it's not a newly proposed structure, but rather one that we have direct documentation of existing for the last 15 years, potentially 30 years, and it may have been all the way back to 1960 when the original home was constructed. So it has a long life of well-demonstrated functionality. And in this case, we're just looking to kind of clean it up a little bit so that these folks have the technical permission to do the maintenance that's necessary without triggering some sort of review by a department every time you need to replace a board or a safety rail or a stairwell. We reached out to the community. Every landowner within 250 feet of this location has received a mail and has had 2 weeks to respond if they have any sort of questions or concerns. We also reached out to Oregon One Call, to the utility company, and we've heard back from a number of them, none of which have any sort of objection to this particular structure being in the right way. As such, we are in full support of this particular license, and we look forward to hearing your input. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them. Thanks, sir.
Perfect, thank you. And is the photo behind you part of this? Are we looking at the structure?
That is the one.
Wonderful.
I would like to add that it provides the sole location where two vehicles can pass each other on this road for the first 7 feet of the road itself. So not only does it provide the parking for this particular residence, but if you have two cars that need to pass within that first 700 feet, that is the one location where they can pass each other. So it does provide a public benefit as well as a private benefit.
Perfect, thank you. Questions or comments, Commissioner?
Well, this seems pretty straightforward, and as Jasper said, it already exists, so we're just providing the licensure to say that it officially exists and they don't need our permission to repair it, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
The structure itself has already been permitted, both as a road approach as well as a non-utility structure. And this is just the license would allow them to perform the actions of maintenance on those structures that are permitted to be there.
Terrific, thank you.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I think, when we look back at things that have existed historically, as you said, this may be all the way back to the 60s before our land use system in Oregon was in place as we know it today. There's just a lot of requirements that were not in place, but now are triggered should change occur. So I think this is a great way to just clean this up and make sure that this is always available. So I think we're ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I move approval of an encroachment license on Beach Crest Drive at Township 5S, Range 11W, Section 25AB, Tax Lot 1800 in Nescoin, Oregon, for the repair, replacement, and maintenance of a road approach boardwalk parking structure and associated access stairs.
Okay, I would second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Perfect. Thank you, and thank you, Jasper. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we will move on to item number 8, discussion and consideration of a library community meeting spaces policy and an order in the matter of adopting the Tillamook County Library administrative policies. We have Don Algier, our library director. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank
Excellent.
you. So, Don Algier, library director, and you have before you a revised library meeting room policy and a request on a board order regarding all administrative library policies. The revised library meeting room policy is now the community meeting spaces policy. It was revised to include the Maxwell Park in the library stage, immediately adjacent to the Tillamook Main Library building. It was also revised to clarify the policy language, particularly that the priority for these spaces is library programming and non-commercial public events for the community. The policy does allow for closed meetings for government business and fundraising events for the Library Foundation and Friends groups in library buildings. These spaces are critical parts of how the library serves the public and helps to enhance lifelong learning and the democratic right to assembly enshrined in the First Amendment to our Constitution. The request for a board order in the matter of library policies is to keep us consistent with county procedures for administrative policy approval. There are no changes to any of the policies that you approved in December, beyond what is presented to you regarding the library community meeting spaces policy. These policies create the framework for how the library serves our community. So thank you for your attention to these, and I'm glad to answer any questions you might have.
Perfect, thank you. Commissioner, questions or comments?
Thank you for being here this morning and in person. It's nice to see you. I invited Dawn to come and talk to us about this publicly because it's a new thing for the community to be opening up the library park, and it's really a community discussion about the use of community spaces in the library. So I thought it would be great to have this conversation together in this meeting, and I really appreciate your work on it. Would you like to talk a little bit about the policy specifically, like the things, how it will impact the community using the spaces?
Yeah, so it is not too dissimilar from what the policy was before. The really key things that got cleaned up in there were around, there were a lot of sort of implied rules around the use of the spaces that were implied by exceptions provided to the county government or to the foundation, but not actually explicitly stated in the policy. So we changed that to make sure that it was clear that you really couldn't be doing commercial enterprises out of those rooms. They're not there to be used for commercial money-making purposes. They're for public benefit, and that those rooms should be open to the public in most use cases. So we want to make sure that everyone is welcomed into the library to participate in programs that are occurring or public events. Beyond that, I think just really making sure that as we're thinking about how those rooms are used, that we are making sure that public benefit is the first and highest priority, and that any sort of private use is the kind of lower tier priority in there. So we want to make those spaces available to the public for those sorts of private uses when available, but we certainly don't want to get into a place where we are not providing as much public use for those rooms as I think the public really expects. So, yeah.
Thank you. That makes sense. So to put a point on it, that would be a community meeting to which the public is invited as opposed to a private party.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something that would be closed off to other members, so that you would want to have a private event where you didn't want the public just coming in and hanging out a celebration of an anniversary, for instance, where you might love the public, but maybe not that much.
And as people are thinking about using the park, because people have asked me about it, when will the park be available? What will it be available for? Do you want to talk about that just a little bit? Like, how do you envision the park being used as early as this summer, and how would people sign up for that?
Yeah, so it was interesting as I was getting prepared for the park to really become much more active with the library stage being built, looking around to see what examples there were of policies specific to library park spaces, library outdoor spaces, or stages, and unfortunately there was not a lot to go on. And so really with this policy, it expands out the meeting room space policy to those spaces. So the idea is that we're going to have very similar rules in terms of that. So we're going to have programming that goes on out there, but then also the public will be able to have public events out there, and that's really our hope. We don't think that during the course of a summer we could program that space the entirety of the summer. So we really do need community involvement. We want people to be coming and doing productions on that stage. We want to have lectures on that stage. We would like to have musical performances on that stage, and we want to make it a space that will be really resonant for the public and create a really active space in downtown, which I think will help bolster businesses downtown. It will help to make for safer spaces in the downtown area. So we're really excited about it. I think we will begin to really take public reservations of that space in July, starting in July. So we're trying to work through the last bits of getting the park ready. The Library Foundation has been fantastic in getting that space built and working through that project. So we're really thankful to the Library Foundation for the work here.
That's wonderful. Thanks. I'm excited about it. It's coming together so beautifully. Yeah, I was surprised and impressed the last time I walked through there to see have you seen the stage?
I've just seen it as I've driven by. I haven't walked through that portion.
It's so cool. Yeah. I've been thinking about, I used to live in a community that had in the summertime, had a brown bag luncheon, musical luncheon event once a week in the summer months. And how wonderful that was for businesses, for downtown businesses. Some people would buy their lunch, take it to the concert. Other people would bring their lunch, and it was community building, and people would gather in the sunshine and share lunch and music, and it was lovely. And that could really happen there. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to see, and I think we're getting pretty close to it being a reality. So, yeah.
All right, thank you. Well, wonderful. That all sounds fantastic, and I know that the community rooms have been really beneficial. There's been a lot of meetings I've both held and attended in those rooms, and I think having the expansion to that outside space will also be fantastic. I'm excited. I will look forward to some sort of a lunch thing. That would be really fun to have that happen in that park. So I appreciate the work that you're doing to keep our policies up to date and accurate. That is key, so that we know how it will work before we stumble across something that doesn't. So greatly appreciate that. So yeah, great work.
Madam Chair, I move approval of a library community meeting spaces policy and order number 23-019 in the matter of adopting the Tillamook County Library administrative policies.
And I would second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All of those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number 9, discussion and consideration of an order in the matter of declaring county-owned property as surplus. We have Chris Chiola, Environmental Program Manager, Department of Community Development. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you, Commissioners?
Good.
Good. Before you today is the matter of 2 old vehicles that the building division had been using in the past, and they've not been used in the past probably year. And one is a 2001 Ford Explorer that has seen better days, as well as a 2004 Ford Ranger. They're 2 vehicles that no one uses anymore, and they have some repair issues and some engine problems, and we don't need them, and it's time to move them on.
Fair enough.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Any questions?
No, thanks. If we're not using them and they don't run and they have serious problems, I don't know why we would keep them.
Yeah, the reason that they're there is we had employees that did use them in the past, and we no longer have that many employees, so they were used as backups, and we no longer need them, so it's time to get rid of them.
No, I think it makes perfect sense, and yeah. 2001 was a few years ago,
Yes.
and we're ready for a motion.
All right. Madam Chair, I move approval of order number 23-020 in the matter of declaring county-owned property as surplus.
And I would second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number 10, discussion and consideration of a letter of intent to purchase real property from Kyle Kamina for tax foreclosed county-owned property previously offered at the February 13th, 2023 land sale auction, parcel 16, township 2N, range 10W, section 29DB, tax lot 11100. Rachel Haggerty, Chief of Staff.
Good morning,
Good
Commissioners.
morning.
This is a .06 acre parcel in the city of Rockaway. The minimum bid offered at the last land sale auction was $1,500. As you know, in between land sales, we cannot accept less than 85% of the value, and the letter of intent offer is for that amount, $1,275, and it's ready for consideration.
Perfect, thank you. Questions, comments?
I don't have any questions. I'm glad somebody wants it, and I'm curious about what it'll be used for, but it doesn't matter. I'm glad somebody wants to buy it.
Agreed. We have many of these little slices of property that we end up getting back in foreclosure, and it's wonderful when they can get back out into the community and hopefully become something useful and valuable. So,
We have a new to me audience member. Would you happen to be Kyle?
I'm not.
Okay, all right. So I thought if you were, I could ask.
everybody wants to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, I think we're ready for motion.
All right, Madam Chair, I move approval of a letter of intent to purchase real property from Kyle Kamna for tax foreclosed county property previously offered at the February 13th, 2023 land sale auction, parcel 16, township 2N, range 10W, section 29DB, tax lot 11100.
And I would second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. All of those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, that moves us right into item 11, which is board concerns. Any board concerns this morning, Commissioner?
Not today.
Okay, and nor do I. So I think we can move right into our board announcements. The Commissioners will hold a board briefing on Wednesday, May 17th, 2023 at 2 p.m. to discuss weekly Commissioner updates. The meeting will be held in the Board of Commissioners Meeting Room 106 in the Tillamook County Courthouse, 201 Laurel Avenue, Tillamook, Oregon. The teleconference number is 1-971-254-3149, conference ID 736-023-979#. The Commissioners will attend a Lightwave meeting on Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. The teleconference number is 1-253-215-8782, conference ID 899-5732-9678. The Commissioners will attend a meeting with John Upton for a quarterly report on Tillamook County's retirement plan on Friday, May 26, 2023 at 3 p.m. The teleconference number is 1-253-205-0468, meeting ID 851-6197-1473, passcode 443151. Okay, in an amazingly short window of time today with a short agenda, we are ready to adjourn this meeting at 9:33 a.m. Thank you.